Before we go today, we are marking an important moment today in CNN's history. Today's show will be the final broadcast from the CNN Center in Atlanta. We're actually going to show you a live look outside the CNN Center in Atlanta. You see the big CNN signs there. We anchor the show out of New York, but the control rooms of this show and much of our editorial staff has always been in Atlanta at that iconic building at the CNN Center, also known as CNN's World News headquarters. Starting Monday, our team there will move to a new home just a couple miles away. But the new home is actually the place where CNN founder Ted Turner started the network back in 1980. I want to show you what CNN looked like on its first broadcast from the CNN Center.
This is Daybreak, Monday, July 13th, with Donna Kelly and Brian Nelson from CNN Center in Atlanta and Reed Collins in Washington.
Yeah, well, they're putting their best CNN spin on the fact that they're moving back to their original and significantly smaller location. What's an obvious result of their ratings disaster. As you see CNN staff waving goodbye, that's but emblematic of what news audiences have been doing to CNN these last several years as they've been hemorrhaging viewers. We're going to see the latest fallout from CNN's fledgling ratings and why the days of the most distrusted name in fake news are mercifully coming to a much-deserved end. Greetings, gang. It's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. It is official. The iconic CNN building in downtown Atlanta is no more. CNN is abandoning its headquarters. It is, as you've heard, moving operations completely out of their landmark location downtown Atlanta, which I've been to on a few occasions. It's certainly an impressive building, or at least it was. It will inevitably be leased out for another, hopefully far more honest and integral purpose than the shameless shills of ultra-leftist fake news that's peddled by CNN. Now, what you just saw there was CNN anchor Kate Bolduan dropping a bombshell announcement last Friday, revealing what had been rumored to be happening, that CNN was indeed closing its landmark headquarters. And these rumors were, of course, coming in the wake of the rapidly declining viewership that CNN has been suffering from over the last several years, but particularly the last two, ever since they started playing the part of a North Korean propaganda wing for the Biden regime. CNN is basically the DNC, along with MSNBC. They push woke leftist Democrat talking points 24/7, and it has cost them dearly in terms of their credibility and their audience. CNN's audience has fallen an astonishing, a humiliating 90% in the last 2 years. 90%. And why should we be surprised? I mean, seriously, think about it. They told us that Trump colluded with Russia to steal the 2016 election, that Jussie Smollett was the victim of a race crime in downtown Chicago, that Brett Kavanaugh was a rapist, that the COVID lab leak was nothing but a conspiracy theory, that border agents on horseback ran around whipping migrants, that the Covington Catholic school kids mocked a poor, peaceful Native American simply banging on his drum, that Trump built cages for migrant kids and recommended that people drink bleach to cure COVID, that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist. They peddled the notion that the Hunter Biden laptop was mere Russian misinformation, and most recently, that there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever for Biden's corruption and impending impeachment. That is the most distrusted name in fake news, and it has just reached rock bottom in terms of viewership. CNN, get this, just this last month, CNN, when it came to the 24 to 54-year-old demographic, which is the most important demographic for advertisers, CNN pulled in a total, I kid you not, a total of just 55,000 viewers over a single weekend. 55,000 viewers. That's it. A single video of ours on this channel gets twice those views. A single video. That weekend in September was the single worst weekend in CNN's ratings history. I mean, you don't get much worse than that. As one media outlet put it, CNN just made history but not in the way they would want, not in the way any media company would ever, hope for. And it turns out that this is but the latest in CNN's collapse. I'm going to show you why. It looks like we're not far away from CNN completely and totally folding. You're going to love this. But first, I want to meet you face to face at this year's Texicon. That's right. From November 9th to 12th, my team and I will be joining thousands of patriots in Waco, Texas, for a week of celebrating faith, family, and freedom in a movement that promises to be an arc for patriots if things go awry for us in 2024. I'll be doing a live meet and greet at this year's conference and hope to see as many Texas Turley talkers there as possible. Let's set a new attendance record and show the rhinos and woke demons in Davos that patriots have had enough, and we're going to preserve a society of faith, family, and freedom one way or another. Click on that link in the description below to get your tickets now, and I'll see you all in Waco. The first sign that CNN was really beginning to collapse in terms of its whole business model was the fall of its long-running and brazenly annoying airport monopoly. And one of the reasons that was a harbinger for CNN's demise was that it revealed that CNN was becoming a dinosaur. They were a cable news dinosaur. And that's because in an age of mobile phones and streaming news video available to every person in the palm of their hands, TV monitors are rendered totally irrelevant. But that irrelevance at the airport was but a symbol, an indicator of how CNN was becoming irrelevant across the board. We've talked a number of times on the advent of what scholars call a network society, which is a fundamentally different society than the one that produced cable news. Cable news comes out of a social order known as mass society. And this is the kind of society that arose in the 19th and 20th centuries. It was a society that was organized around densely concentrated, urbanized populations that were forged during the Industrial Revolution. And it was within this mass society that the days of big media were forged over the course of the last century. So you got NBC in Rockefeller Plaza. This was the age of the CNN building in Atlanta, right? New York bureaus for Wall Street and DC bureaus for Capitol Hill. The problem for big media is that scholars recognize we're moving away from mass society and moving instead towards what's called a network society. So if mass society related us to one another by virtue of our proximity to these massive urban centers like New York and LA, the network society relates us to one another by virtue of the internet, right? So with internet-based networks, space has, effectively collapsed, enabling us to transcend our spatial proximity and localized frontiers. And this societal shift is radically affecting the way we do news. I mean, you'll notice that virtually 100% of the initial video documentation of any significant event of late is not coming from news cameras or from satellite trucks. On the ground, in real-life video, capturing any significant event comes from eyewitnesses who were present at that event, recording it on their smartphones. That's the network society. Everyone with a phone is a cameraman. It's a new social order that's decentralized and disestablished. And it's one that the legacy big media simply cannot compete with anymore. And this is why the future of news is independent content creators like yours truly, who are able to communicate our own perspectives on what we all see and hear via the network society. In mass society, the media controlled what you could see or hear. In a network society, we can bypass big media in a manner comparable to the way email or texting or instant messaging bypasses the old post office. And as the ratings crash for CNN is showing us all, the network society is no longer a little brush fire here or there that big media can just stamp out whenever it wants. It's now blazing all over the world, and there's nothing the big media can do about it. We need look no further than CNN's now empty headquarters. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.